I've gone on live is because I do have a little bit of a situation that I do want to mention that happened like in the past during my high school career, and it's actually it's nothing personal, it's nothing like dramatic. It's something that happened during maybe a volleyball game that happened like hours before a game. So it's between us and Warwick, I believe my junior year. And we're the situation was, me and the team were in the locker room, in the locker room, and everything. We're just doing our thing. We're getting our team chat, or the chat going. He's giving us our team pep talk for the game, and by the time we get out there ready to play, the ref has already given us a red card, and I think like we all look at him and go, like, what was he doing? Like, what was the ref trying to do? And we didn't understand it. Like, I'm not saying the referee was making a bad decision. I'm just saying that this is a little bit surprising. Because I remember walking out there and I look at the ref and go, what? Like, it was horrendous. Like, we get a red card for not showing up on time, and the whole stadium just went bonkers at the ref. Like, they didn't say anything mean, like, physically. They just looked at him and went, what is he calling? And even nowadays, I still look back on it and think, we still won the game, by the way, guys, 3-0, because, well, no, actually, it was my senior year. I take that back. It was my senior year, and that'll happen, because, well, senior year, we went 17-3, but the referees, I thought the referees back in my senior year, they were a little bit, I'm not saying they're very bad refs. I'm just saying they were a little bit, lenient with certain things. They let certain things go. They make little calls that were unnecessary. But I think, a lot of times referees, even in any sport, like in the NFL or anything, they're going to make mistakes. And it happens. Even I say this now, like, referees in NFL are just as bad as anyone could imagine. It's all about really how are the referees going to make these decisions. And that's going to be a case of them just saying, we have to do this, we have to do that. And I'm not saying the referees are bad. I'm saying they just make these little mistakes that are going to possibly cost them their jobs. Because they don't know is that they put themselves in these positions where it puts themselves really in a case of whether or not they're going to make these right decisions. And I'm not saying referees are bad, far from it. I just thought, the fact that they gave us a red card before the game even started. To this day, that is still the only red card our head coach, I'm not going to say names of who our head coach was, but that was the only red card of their coach's career. Like, we didn't do it because of an argument or getting heated with the ref. We did it because we showed up late. I still think that is the funniest red card, in my opinion, of all time. Because to this day, I still think, had the refs really looked at the decision and saw, yes, we were late, maybe we didn't hear the buzzer sounding, but it was a sign that we were too focused in on trying to get ready to get the job done, which we did. But I think, really, when you look at referees, it's very, very challenging to see referees a different way. I'm not trying to, like, roast any referees, guys, just to let it point out. I'm just saying, they might need to, like, because they've implemented a lot of things with a lot of referees. And the reason, guys, I do want to give a special shout out to Spencer FC for mentioning referees, because he mentioned in his Wembley Cup that the referee ended the game 2 minutes early when they could have just played the last 2 minutes of the game. So, shout out to Spencer FC and Seb on Golf, because they had that perfect explanation regarding referees calling the game early. and they called it cut short 2 minutes before 15 minutes, and they were supposed to play 15 minutes. That's why, guys, I am explaining about why refs need to start being careful with what they do. I mean, all respect to referees, guys. You guys need to respect referees. Because I've seen like, when I've had a handball once, I'm honest and tell them I did a handball. And there was once a ball hit my foot, and they called goal kick, I told the referee it was a corner. You know, a lot of players are not honest to the referees. They're not honest, and it's going to cost them. Sometimes these referees are going to make these decisions that are going to cost you games. And it's asinine. I'm not saying that it's a personal thing. I'm saying it's just like a very surprising manner. It doesn't make sense. Well, even I've had referees like give me like we had a referee. In my opinion, one of the worst games of all time against Woodside. And some of you might remember this. This was, I'm not going to mention names because a fight broke out after the game between one of our players and some college kids. I'm not going to mention who because I still feel bad for that because I was at that game as well. And it was like last year as well. And I did an interview on it. Go check out the interview I did with one of the men's field players. And make sure you give a like and subscribe, by the way. Subscribe to the channel. And like that video as well. But after that game, what basically screwed up was the referees obviously not hearing what was said. The refs didn't hear anything that was said between the two players. And even the fouls, you know, one dude was like crunching tackle into everybody, and yet he still got yellow card, and that was it. He should have been sent off. There should have been so many red cards to the point where they could have been down to like 8 or 7 men, and that would have been game. It makes no sense with what referees try to do. Like, I'm not saying that there's like a personal thing with me and referees. I'm just saying the referees just don't make the right decisions. They make decisions they believe are right, but they're not right. They do it all the time. They call a penalty when it's not a penalty. They say it's not a penalty when it is a penalty. And even the game between Napoli and Milan. Recently. The game, Milan won 1-0 when they clearly didn't deserve it because the refs, yet again, meaningless calls that were made. A penalty that should have been a penalty for Osimhen. They kept fouling the ever-living garbage out of Osimhen and everybody. And yet no fouls. But I'm starting to think VAR has not been implemented well in soccer in general, to the point where they're not going to call anything. But I do want to say, guys, if you guys are tuning into the stream, guys, I'm just talking about referees and everything else because I was looking up something from a past video that I used to watch from Spencer FC and featuring his brother Seb on golf. And that's why I am talking about this and everything. But I might have to end it here, guys. My voice is killing me. Thank you guys for tuning in. I mean, it was really first time back on a stream. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.